And there we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to new distributor training for this edition, Saturday morning, March 17th, I guess it is. Happy Patty's Day. I completely spaced that part out, but I am wearing Zija green, so I'm in good shape. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, new distributor training. I'm going to decline that. The new distributor training this morning, I'm very excited about it because this is a very unique time in Zija's history, and I want to do everything that I can to empower each one of you to take advantage of what's going to be happening over the next 12 to 18 months, and of course, my focus, 36 months. If you will, some of you have been around, have heard me talk about the 90-day game plan. When I first joined Zija International, I came out of retirement for this opportunity. I used to be a cross-country truck driver. I had the good fortune to be involved in network marketing in the it was the mid 80s. It changed my life. Okay, I got some of the finest training that's ever existed in the profession. I joined a second company that had the right timing to get in ahead of the wave. Literally in 10 years, I retired. And I was able to do things that, 20 years earlier than most fellows retire, to do things people, honestly, they just dream about. Imagine being able to work only if you wanted to, and if somebody, paid you a lot of money to do something you thought was fun. Imagine being able to take care of your family, raise your grandson. Part of my Zija story, I came back home to the family home to take care of my elderly mother. And when Zija was introduced to me, I had the opportunity, because of my previous experience, to recognize a legacy company in the making. And it was very difficult back then to launch the Zija business, my Zija business. But all I simply did was rely upon proven strategies, proven concepts that had allowed me in a 10-year period of time with my previous multi-level opportunities, in a 10-year period of time, to create an income that would have taken, 60, 70, 80 years as a truck driver to create. So I compressed, a couple of lifetimes of work into 10 years. That was one of the reasons I was able to retire. The second reason is I didn't spend all the money. I try to tell all the young folks, just don't spend all the money. Got to hang on to some of that money you make. And so when Zija's opportunity came along, first, because of my previous experience, I knew what to look for. Secondly, I knew what to do. And today, it's it's kind of like, 2006, 2007 in Zija, where the company isn't even doing anything, relatively speaking. And each one of you have the opportunity to do what I did when I joined the company in 2008. I put together a game plan for 36 months. I did 12 back-to-back 90-day game plans. 4 90-day game plans in 2008. That created the foundation of my business. Wasn't a huge income. I was a very modest, full-time income, but I did it working part-time from home. Second year, I did the same thing again. I did a 90-day game plan 4 times in a row in 2009. That put me into a 6-figure annual income. And I did it one more time. In 2010, I did a 90-day game plan, and I did it 4 times in a row, and ended up at the end of 2010 with an income, put me in the top 1% of earners in the country. But it was, it was more than double what the first 2 years have been. Now, I've got somebody who's trying to call me. You can't call me, okay? I'm working right now, so stop calling. I'm sharing this with you because I want you to get a feel for what the potential could be for each of you. Zija International, during that period of time, was in a relatively slow growth mode, okay? And it had a lot to do with, limitations in our product line, limitations with the compensation plan, and so on. But because I was consistent on a daily basis over a prolonged period of time, the fourth year in Zija, when Zija went into some significant momentum, that fourth year, even though in that fourth year I did the least amount of work in my fourth year in Zija than I had done in any time frame prior to that, my income almost, wasn't quite, but the fourth year income was almost the first 3 years combined. Now, obviously I'm sharing that for a reason. Here's the reason. Number one, I want you to understand, I want you to realize that the things that I'm sharing with you aren't what I think works. They're not things that I hope work, but rather proven, tried, proven, results-oriented concepts that have been part of creating success in this profession for close to 70 years. Now, number two, I want you to understand, as I share my story, that I'm not a lot different than most people. Okay, I do have experience in the industry. When I joined Zija, Zija's my third successful multi-level venture, and I've only been in 3 multi-levels. I've been very fortunate. I've been blessed to be in 3 ventures that have created success. Now, I do this part-time from home. I'm going to be the first person to tell you I am not the best salesperson. I am not the best speaker. I am not the best, at social media, cold market recruiting, all the techniques that people believe are the keys to success. What I am very good at, and it's taken time to get there, I am very good at identifying a simple system that can be duplicated by the masses and be able to then build in depth. If I had to identify the things that I am good at, because I know what I'm not good at, okay? I am not the best salesperson. I know who great salespeople are. I am not the best recruiter. I've got, frankly, one of the top recruiters in all of Zija International as a personal enrollee of mine. Many of you are familiar with Pat Anderson. Okay, if you were to look statistically over the last 10 years, who has recruited, who has been our company's top recruiter, it would be consistently Pat Anderson. I'm not Pat Anderson. I can't hold a candle to her. Okay, what I can do is I can share with you the concepts of a simple system that can be duplicated through the masses and building in depth. Okay, that is the key. Now, I share that with you folks. I've taken some time to set this up because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a few of the gems that will help you as a brand new distributor create whatever it is you want. Okay, because we all come to Zija with different goals and different aspirations. Some of you are here because you're looking for a way to create a little supplemental income. Maybe $50 a week, $100 a week, what have you, with the eye towards just being able to offset some of the costs you have for keeping the whole family on the product. Okay, you've personally been using Zija's products. You know how you feel. I had a friend of mine that uses the Zija products, been one of my customers for a very long time. She came to me, needed some more Super Mix, and says, I stopped taking my morning Zija for a couple of weeks just because I forgot. And I'm thinking, really? How do you forget that? But, she forgot, so she shut it down for a day or two, and then it became 3 or 4, and then became a week, and then became 2 weeks. And she says, and oh my goodness, I felt terrible. I got back on the Zija, and I feel so much better. And I said, yep, that's one of my best customer acquisition tools, having my existing customers stop using Zija for a while. It's one of the best ways to get the customer base thriving is quit using it for a while. You forget how bad you used to feel. But I want to be able to provide this environment where each one of you can take advantage of Zija for your goals. Okay, maybe it's just keeping all the kids and mom and dad on the product, and your grandparents on the product, and your grandbabies on the product. if you're personally supplying the product to several people, it's going to cost a few bucks. Maybe you're here just to make a little supplemental income. Maybe you're here to make an extra, $500 a month, $1,000 a month. That's the backbone of our Zija distributor base, folks. Imagine having over a year's period of time an extra, $500 or $1,000 a month in additional income that does not require change in your life. That could be a, savings, okay, for, the kids' college education. Could be, a really nice family vacation. Instead of one vacation, the vacation of a lifetime, be able to do it every year. Go out to dinners, go to, get a little bit nicer car, whatever. Okay, it really doesn't make any difference why, as much as, whatever it is that you choose as your goal in Zija, for that to be manifested through what we're going to talk about. And if you're real studious, get your journal out. Okay, get your journal out, jot down these things. I want to take a couple of minutes and I want to share with you the foundational elements to establishing your Zija business, because if you caught what I was just sharing, my first year in Zija, I created the foundation of my distributorship. I had a few distributors who had a few distributors and a few customers. Now, the second year, we started to create some traction. Okay, we started to get some things going because we had a foundation to work with. Third year, we were able to establish some real momentum. And then what happened after that is the history of Zija. That fourth year, it took on a life of its own. I couldn't kill my Zija business if I tried. And that's what I want to empower you to do. So first things, number one, let's understand that what our industry really is, okay? A lot of people, and this is one of the saddest things, nobody believes that they can do brain surgery unless you're a brain surgeon. So, if a family member needs brain surgery, the average person doesn't go, okay, great, I'll take care of that. Let me get a sharp knife and, some Band-Aids and let's go to it. No, you go to a professional. You have a professional do it. Most people are not professional automobile mechanics. When the car stops running, most people don't say, hey, listen, I'll fix that. Okay, unless you're a professional carman, you go to a professional. Okay, there's in network marketing, for some reason, people think they get it. That oh yeah, sell products to my friends, sign up my friends, I got it, and they go to work, and they don't get the results they're looking for. Well, quite frankly, how can you expect to get, $1 million income results if you're not already a professional that knows what to do? And so in our business, you need to understand these things. All right. Network marketing is in many ways, it's identical to traditional business distribution models, but it's entirely different. In any business, whether you have a retail store location or you're doing business on the internet, catalog sales, whatever it is that you are doing for business, business is the movement of products and or services into the marketplace to an end consumer. That's business. That's free enterprise. That's how we do things. Okay. Now, traditional businesses require customers to come to their stores, so they invest a huge amount in advertising for the purposes of driving customers to their store so they can make that sale. Online business is the same thing. I mean, all you got to do is watch TV for a little while and you'll see a commercial for some internet website. Okay, Wayfair or something like that. There are people that have home stuff. I mean, virtually every other commercial on TV is a commercial for an internet, sales methodology. Now, traditional businesses, regardless of how the format is, their job is to do what we do in Zija, in network marketing, is to create a customer base. The problem is they do it in a traditional sense, which is what I call linear customer acquisition. They go get one customer, they go get another, they go get another, they go get another. Some companies try to leverage their customers by offering them, 10% off their next order for referring somebody, or maybe discounted price on a new product to increase the amount of product they buy. $50 credit towards your bill for referring a friend. But at the very best, it's a one-level acquisition model. Network marketing is entirely different. And this is where most people don't get it. A lot of people think this is about selling our product. And yes, it is. That's what we do. We sell product. Okay, we get customers. However, we're much more like the real estate industry or the insurance industry, in that you as an independent distributor, in addition to developing your own customers, your own consumers, you can also recruit distributors to work with you. Now, in insurance or real estate, you recruit real estate agents or insurance agents to work for you. In network marketing, we recruit people to work with us. And then what we do is we help them develop their customers. So we've got that second level of potential income. But in turn, each one of those distributors can also be, if you will, a broker, and they can recruit distributors to work with them, not for them. And what we have is an environment where you have an exponential growth of consumers. And if you can make this transition, most people think our business is about getting a customer base. And yes, it is. Okay, that's what we do. But my focus has always been in developing a consumer base. A little bit different focus there. And I want you to understand why my focus is on consumers. If you look at my organization today, and I've got a pretty good organization, pretty large organization, 80, maybe even 90% of my income does not come from people recruiting, doesn't come from people getting new customers. 80% of my income comes from people that use the product every day. They reorder every month, and that's all they do. And so the question is, how do you go and get 5, 8, 10, 15,000 people to consume the product? One customer at a time, one distributor at a time. And if you see this, I'll give you an example. I could go out and get, one customer, and then go get another customer, and go get another, go get, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4 customers. And will I make some money? Yes. And if I provide good service, follow up with my customers, get them good results, they're very likely to continue using the product every single month. So not only did I get 4 customers and made 4 sales, this week, I'm going to have those 4 sales keep coming in month after month after month. Now, here's a different thought. I could go out and recruit a distributor. Now, if I go get one distributor, now who am I looking for? Folks, ask yourself this. Who are you looking for? Let me tell you who you're looking for. You. You're looking for somebody that's willing to put a little bit of time and energy and effort and resources into building a home-based business that they can create some additional income that can become residual, maybe even go to a full-time income, maybe even go to a significant full-time income. And if you just kept doing the same thing over and over again, like I've done, you could have a life-changing income. It's just a matter of time and activity. So who are you looking for? Looking for people like you. Now, if I go get a distributor and I teach them how to get a few customers, guess what I've got? If I teach them how to get 4 customers, I've actually got 5 new consumers because my distributor's consuming the product, all right? Now, what we've learned is that we only get paid by moving products and services into the marketplace. Distributors tend to consume more product than customers. Okay, your average customer might be using, 1 serving a day of Super Mix. Maybe they're going to use some of the premium tea a couple times a week. Okay, great. Let's get 1 million of them. Distributors, on the other hand, they tend to use more product. Okay, I mean, think about yourself. Those are your distributors. Do you use more than 1 serving a day of Super Mix? And most are going, oh yeah, you might be like me. I actually use more than 1 serving a day of Super Mix. I'll tell you what, probably 4 servings a day of one of our moringa drinks. You know, whether it's super mix, you know, the new ripsticks, limitless, and you know, so on. You know, protein, our plant protein drink. I mean, I'm consuming a lot of that. Plus, I do lots of the essential oils. I don't know. I guess you can't see it here. Let's do it like that. There, over there in the corner. There's my diffuser. I've got 1, 2, 3 diffusers going basically around the clock. We use the skincare, the personal care, all that stuff. I'm not an average consumer, average distributor. I consume lots and lots of the Zija products. But distributors, if you had a choice, you'd have a distributor consuming product versus a customer. Follow this formula. If I get one distributor and I help them get a few customers and help them get 2 distributors for themselves, and then I turn around and I take those 2 and help them get 2 distributors for themselves, I've now got 4 distributors on my second level. And if I do that again with them, just help them get 2. This is working in depth. Just help them get 2. I'll now have 8 on my second level. And if you do the math, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 30 high-level consumers, 30 distributors. I can go out and get 1 customer, you know, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. But if I focus on building team members, in addition to customers, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 30. And each one of those 30 distributors is likely to get 1 or 2 or 3 customers. Some of them are going to want to get a distributor or 2. And folks, it seems like the numbers are small, but that is what I've done over that first 3 years to create, you know, what became a Zija story in terms of, you know, high-level income. Now, how do you do that? This is the key, and I want you to be real clear on this. It doesn't make any difference what you do, so long as your focus is on creating duplication. I'm going to give you a few things to jot in your notes right now. So I'm hoping you've got your pen handy and your journal out. If you want to be successful in any multi-level venture, but in particular in Zija, okay, because Zija is one of those rare companies that will be here. It's been here for over 10 years. It'll be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. People say, well, how do you know it's going to be around that long? Because Ken Brailsford's already built 2 previous multi-level companies that have been around over 30 and 40 years, and they're thriving today. That's why I know. Now, a couple of things for you. Number 1, put this in your notes. Duplication is the key to success. Duplication is the key to success. Now, what I mean by that is if you can develop a system that is simple for the average person to learn, it'll be then simple for the average person to teach. And duplication is the key. Okay? If your system is so complicated that you can only teach it to, you know, 1 or 2% of the people out there, they're only going to be able to teach it to the top 1 or 2% of the people, and you've missed the masses. My business, you know, I mean, are there superstars in my business? Of course there are. There are people like Pat Anderson, Doug Stroup, Dee Dee Shaw, you know, Berdina Pretty. Some of you saw her on the Thursday Night Biz Talks. I mean, and I mean, you know, Reed Nelson, and Mac and Pat, and you know, Mac McDonald, Pat. I mean, I can't tell you how many superstars there are in my organization. But I didn't start with them, okay? Found them by doing this. Help my new guy get 2, help them get 2, and help them get 2, and help them get 2. And either I created a superstar by developing the story, or I found the person I was looking for way down line, okay? 99% of the superstars in my organization I didn't know before they joined Zija, but I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew them. The things that I do is simply share the product, share the opportunity, help my new person get to, help them get to, help them get to, and help them get to. And this is the magic of a simple system. You don't have to have a huge, contact lists of professional network marketers. You don't have to have incredible social media online marketing skills. You don't have to have any of the things that people think are necessary if you understand the foundational concepts. Duplication is the key to success. Everything duplicates. This is something else you need to understand. Everything duplicates. When you bring a new person into Zija that doesn't know anything about network marketing, they think how we do Zija is what you're doing. They think that's how it's done. So if your recruiting process involves splash pages and automated email responders and social media presence and Facebook, if that's what's required, then what you have done is you have eliminated a large percentage of the population that doesn't believe they can do that. Okay, now are those things good to do? Absolutely. Some of our top performers in Zija are on social media and they do everything online. But you know what? Would you want to miss recruiting me? Because when I started with Zija, I still had a flip phone. Now it was a cool flip phone. All right, it was the Razor, right? Remember that one, the Razor, Motorola Razor. It was very cool. I didn't text. I was on the internet, okay, but for email, all right, I didn't know any of that stuff. Do I do that stuff today? Yeah, I'm not the guy, okay, that's not, I'm not the guy to teach you that, all right, but I'm familiar with it. The fact of the matter is, our business is as simple as sharing the product, sharing the opportunity, and teaching others to do the same. The more complicated, the more you got to do this, the farther away you move from concepts to techniques. Concepts are duplicatable by the masses, techniques are not. Now, everything works. Everything that you do will work if you do enough of it. And so for me, I really don't care what somebody does. However, if they're looking, to build a business, whether it be developing customers, developing distributors, whatever you do will work if you do enough of it. One of my favorite examples is, selling the product. If you were to go stand out in front of Walmart, okay, and on the line where people are coming out with all the stuff they got, and hold up a bottle of Zija, and say, "Excuse me, you wouldn't want to buy this, would you?" Now, I want you to think about that. Could you come up with a worse sales technique than that? "Excuse me, you wouldn't want to buy this, would you?" Folks, sooner or later, I'm going to come out of Walmart. Okay, well, probably not, but I might. A guy like me is going to walk out of Walmart. I'm going to see you standing there going, "Excuse me, you wouldn't want to buy this, would you?" And I'm going to be thinking, that poor fella's probably got babies at home that are hungry. Lights are going to go out if he doesn't make some money. I'm going to help the poor guy out. I'm going to say, "I don't know, I might want to buy it. What do you got?" And so, that's obviously an extreme example. Everything works if you do enough of it. Now, here's my thought process. Why not find something that is simple, that can be duplicated by the masses, that is the most effective? Okay, I would rather put a small amount of time doing something that's extremely effective than to put a lot of time into something that's not going to get me a lot of results. That's why I tend, people say, "Well, Fred, teach me about social media, teach me about the new technology, teach me about this." Honestly, I'm going to refer you to somebody that's a lot better than I am at it. Okay, I'm going to teach concepts because concepts are duplicatable by the masses. Here's a phrase that was taught to me in my very first company, and it has stayed with me for over 30 years. Fun, simple, magical. You want to attract lots of people to your product or to your business? Have a story that when people look at it, it's fun, simple, magical. This looks like a lot of fun. It's simple and it works like magic. You know, using the product. Took this every day. Took an XM burn. Did a premium tea every other night. Lost 8 pounds my first month. I've lost 32 pounds overall now. That's fun. That's simple. Works like magic. Okay. I joined the Zija business, got some product, put together a list, working with my sponsor, contacted a few people, got a few customers, got a couple distributors, and in the last 12 months, I built a business that averages $300 a week in residual income. Fun, simple, magical. It's fun, simple to do, worked like magic. And I want to make no mistake about it. You help somebody create an environment where they have $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 a year of additional income, and they didn't have to go get a part-time job. They didn't have to give up time away from the kids and the family. You've changed their life. You don't have to make, a David Moses income, a Doug Stroup income, a Dee Shaw income, a Fred Holmes income. You don't have to make those incomes to change people's lives. One last thing. If you are, whatever it is that you're doing, if the person you're sharing this with, whether it be using the product or whether it be building a Zija business, everything I try to do is to frame up an environment, a mindset in my prospect that this is what they're thinking. This looks pretty simple. I think I can do it. This looks pretty simple. It looks like it'll work, and I think I can do it. Looks simple, looks like it'll work, I think I can do it. Because if you can get somebody to start in a Zija business with that mindset, you've given them the greatest opportunity that you could ever offer them, which is to get started. If you just get started, that's the key to success. I'm working with a fella back east, got tremendous potential, great product results, has a business with a great outlet, but for the last 4 months or whatever, he's been waiting to get started because he wants a diamond pack. Imagine how much volume could have been created over the last 4 months if he just started somewhere. If you can help impart to somebody that if this is what their perception is, looks simple, looks like it'll work, I think I can do it, you're giving them the greatest gift because they will get started. Nobody's made a fortune in this business thinking about getting started. One last thing, nobody's made a fortune in this business working for a week and taking a month off. Consistency of effort over a prolonged period of time is the key to success. So with that, I'm hoping that was helpful to you. Again, concepts. Some of you were here looking for the exact, where do I go, what do I say, what do I do, whatever. I don't teach that kind of stuff because it's not of an advantage to you. I am going to encourage you to do a couple of things, and I'm going to ask Doug Stroup to join me here. He was gracious enough to say he was able to get online. I'll bring him over to this side and use one of my team members for question and answer. But do this, folks. Go to my YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. Fred Holmes, Holmes, Zija. Subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notified when new postings are made. If you click on playlist and on that website, you'll see I have a playlist. Now, there's only one playlist, and it's new distributor training. I've specifically cut, a couple of videos. One is new distributor training, the formal new distributor training, the things I was taught 30 plus years ago, my first Saturday morning new distributor training with the previous company, the concepts that I've used for over 30 years. 30-minute call or 30-minute broadcast. Go check that out. I have 3 more little videos, about 10 minutes a piece each, which is essentially fast start. If there was one, how to build your list, how to create the story, a 90-day game plan. It's, step by step what I did to create the momentum back at the beginning of 2008 that has created a legacy business in Zija. But I've done it part-time from home. So hopefully that's enough incentive for you to go check out those videos. So do that. I mean, that's going to, take an hour. You're not going to be able to do brain surgery in an hour. You're not going to be able to, be a auto mechanic in an hour or an attorney in an hour. But in an hour, you can learn the fundamentals of what people like myself have done to create, multiple 7-figure incomes. So do that. And in today's world, if you simply create a story, it doesn't have to be a big story. How do you sell the product? Create a story. Get on the product, lose 5 pounds. Now you got a story. Share your story. And then share the stories of other people. Share Dave Albini's story. He's lost, I believe, over 400 pounds on the product. Share my story. Today I am literally in my mid-60s. I weigh what I did in my early 20s. I've lost 35 pounds on Zija product. Develop your own story. Learn how to share that story and share the stories of others. Want to build a business? Go get a couple of customers. Okay, make $50 your first week. Now, what do you got? You got a story. And then you learn how to share that story because it proves document success is available, and you can learn to share the stories of others. How about mine? Stay-at-home guy, take care of my elderly mother. You may not want to tell everybody how much money I make because that's unbelievable. But let me do this. Let's see here. First of all, Doug, hey buddy, I appreciate you being able to come on board. I always like having somebody that's created one of the true Zija legacy stories. Doug, you're looking dang good, man, young man.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
youngster.
That's right. Get younger every day.
I bet you've been using some of that 2-minute miracle, buddy.
Yes, I have actually. Can you tell? Yeah.
And I want to tell you, I'm saying this in the most masculine heterosexual sense. You look good, brother. You look good.
Thank you, Fred. You're looking good yourself, buddy.
Thank you, bud. Pardon me for eating breakfast. I just realized, man, I'm hungry, and my mom would be just killing me right now. She goes, "Do not eat in front of other people unless you have enough to offer them." So I have some extra
right.
protein bars. Y'all come over to my house. I'll give one to you. Okay. So Doug, it's been great having a chance to because I know you're kind of coming out of a semi retirement, not of your own making.
Yes, exactly.
It's been great getting a chance to partner back up with you. I've been watching the numbers on your team, Doug. Your numbers are really keeping pace with the company right now, starting to incrementally increase. I'm excited because what you've done is you have empowered your people to be prepared for Zija 2.0.
Absolutely.
To be there. So, Doug, listen, let me see what we got going on in questions here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna probably do the the professional host thing and say, well, rather than me answer that, Doug, why don't you answer that?
I'll do the best I can, Fred.
All right. Let's see. You don't have your green T-shirt on for St. Patty's Day. All right. Green. See that? It's green right there. Green. Network marketing. Okay. Connections, consumers, distributors. Okay. Hi, Fred. Magic of a simple system. Okay, I got some. What I'm seeing here is a lot of people validating some of the things. Please share your shattered. Please. Oh, this is from Michael, and good. Michael, Michael asked a question that earlier this week that I do. Please share your strategy of working with people who have no time. I remember you saying you got Pat Anderson to share her contacts with you, and you grew her business until she decided to change her business priorities. Doug, obviously I've got to answer that. What do? You've got a great prospect, okay, and they're who you're looking for. They've already developed success in their life. They've got, buku contacts, great credibility with those contacts. They could be a huge influencer, but they're saying, I don't have time to do this deal. How would you respond to somebody like that?
Put me to work for you. I mean, that's, we're a team, right? I don't want anybody ever to know or to feel like they're the Lone Ranger out there, doing it all by themselves and really maybe not knowing what to do. So I would just say, and I always share that with them. Look, we're a team. Matter of fact, we just sponsored somebody right before this call today. I was, getting that in the system right before this. And I shared that with her. Look, we're a team. You don't have to know what to do right out of the gate. Just put me to work for you, and I'll make sure that you get credit. They'll be on your team, and we'll get you going and, start getting you some money in there right out of the gate, because that really excites people. It's not. Anyway, that's what we're doing, working together as a team. And I always say, put me to work for you.
You hit the nail on. Yeah. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, the elaboration would be, so many times one of the biggest reasons why a person, they get excited, they love the product, they're having great results, they want to build, they want to share with other people, and yet they feel like they're by themselves. They don't know what to do. They don't have the team support. All of us probably that have been in network marketing for, like you and I have for 20, 30 some years, whatever, we felt like at time to time, we didn't have the support, right, that we needed in order to continue moving forward and building our business. So I never want a new person to feel like they don't have that support. And so anyway, that's just kind of elaborating that a little bit. Put me to work for you. Then we teach the system. You make sure there's some interest there. Share with them some information. Share them with a video they can take a look at, and then connect them on the phone with me or with Amy, my wife. We'll take it from there. We'll make sure you get credit for it and all that. Start helping you build your business.
Doug, something that you just said that just made so much sense to me. Put me to work for you. See, when somebody tells me, and I don't care what the objection is, okay, if that person has a need, then that's why they need to do Zija. Why should you take the product? Because I feel run down, because I'm, 60 years old and I feel like I'm 70, whatever the need is the reason why you should do it. From the opportunity, I don't have time. That's why you should do it. I don't care how much money you're making. What kind of life do you have if you don't have time? Think about it. I had a friend, it was really interesting because we had this conversation a number of years ago. He got a, $100,000 Mercedes. It was so cool, and, was kind of shy at me a little bit because I was driving an older T-Bird. And he said, yeah, you need to get one of these. And I go, well, something, my old T-Bird can do something your fancy dancy Mercedes can't do. What's that? At 6 o'clock in the morning, as you have to head down the 101 to the San Fernando Valley to get into your office by 7, I can make a right on Channel Islands Boulevard, go to the harbor and go sailing. Right?
Yeah.
Right? You don't have time. That's why you need to do this. I don't have enough money. That's why you need to do this. I don't know enough people. That's why you need to do this. Okay? Whatever the challenge is, I've got a fella right now. It's been a year since I first talked to him. Definitely the kind of guy I'm looking for. Doesn't have time. Girl just said, and you might know this stuff, his daughter just got into cheerleading, and he said, I'm spending money out the wazoo for cheerleading. I thought it was just, a pair of shoes. No, you got the tournaments, and they're out of state. You got to fly, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't have enough time. He's too busy. And when I finally got his attention, he was over to the house. I said, maybe what you can do is be a referral for me, because I know you know the people I'm looking for, and if you get me their names, I'll work with them because this is what I do, and you can make the money. So that hopefully, Michael, that was helping you. Lauren and Ray, I got to tell you guys, I'm just checking out this stuff here. You guys are getting it. Okay, you guys are getting it. Lauren said one thing about, she's going to send me my address. I'll send you my address. Folks, before I forget, and I don't want to do this, so I want to keep Doug here for a minute. If you're not plugged in, and there's a lot of people from different teams, okay? And Doug, I mean, if you're looking at the list of people, a lot of the people here today, they're part of your organization. It's why you've built such a large organization. They're plugged in. But there are people from other organizations. Anything that Doug and I talk about, folks, it's just additional. Plug into your, upline diamonds, those leaders, okay? Yeah. Chances are some of them are also utilizing this resource. I'm not trying to tell you to do something different than your leader's doing. When I make a recommendation, it's just stuff that we're doing. Remember what I said early on, everything works. Just to do enough of it. I just want to try and be as efficient as possible. But plug in, you can get on the team email list. My team email list at my website, fredholmes.com. Click on contact, scroll down and roll in the thing. You can get on this YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Doug is all over Facebook. You can connect with Doug on Facebook, connect with me on Facebook. Doug, good seeing you. Yep, I agree. I'll take a bar and a plate of eggs. Yeah, well, the Sunday is the big breakfast day for me and Mom. Put me to work for you. Very good, Cecil. That's Cecil Murray. Time, money. What is your initial discussion of peaking? What is your initial discussion of peaking and seeing the interest? Okay, David has got a question here. I'm going to ask Doug to help me with this, but I want to preface this, okay? Something that I never teach is what to say, where to go, what to do. Because the minute I say, this is where you have to go, this is, how you do it, this is what you say, there's going to be somebody that can't do it. All right? So we teach concepts. Now, how do you get somebody's interest? What do you say to them to pique their interest? And what is your initial discussion of piquing the interest? I'm not going to tell you what I say, simply because it's not your words. I can tell you what I say, and immediately, Doug, you've seen this, they go, start right, I've got to get the words.
Right.
You start talking like me instead of talking like you, your friends are going to go, who are you, and what did you do with my buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. But, generically, Doug, what do you do to get somebody's interest?
Couple of things here. You want to be yourself. And Fred, you just hit that on. I mean, you have to be yourself, right? I can't be you, Fred. You can't be me. Other people, yeah, duplication is a big part of this, but you said it earlier. What we do or what we say does duplicate. So we want to make sure that we are giving people freedom to be themselves, right? People are going to buy into you, right, before they buy into the product or the business opportunity. They're going to buy into you. This is a relationship building business, right? I love that. Another thing is we want to be a professional listener. So it's not so much that I have to have this script going off in my head all the time, and I hope that the conversation turns into where I can say my next line, in this script. And I do a lot of acting, so I understand this whole memorizing scripts and doing lines and doing them at the right time. But you can do that on stage or in a film or whatever, movie, but you don't want to do that in the Zija business. I've never been one to just memorize a script and then hope that the conversation turns to the point where, okay, now there's my opportunity to say my next line in the script. No, you just want to be yourself and become a professional listener. And I guarantee you the conversations will turn to a time where you can say something as simple as, oh, I can help you with that. Fred, that has been one of the lines that has, and I'm not saying you've got to say that, but that's what has been good for me and Amy, because we're listening. And they're going to talk about, bad health or bad finances. That's the two things we have that we're offering people every day, better health and better finances. That's the world people live in. And we have the answer to both of those. But you won't hear their need for that if you're not listening. So if you're constantly just trying to talk, and not letting them get in a word edgewise, you're probably not going to go anywhere with that prospect. You really need to be listening, and then something as simple as, well, I can help you with that. That might mean they just said something about some pain, some bad health, whatever, or it might be, I working my tail off and not getting paid anything near what I should be, right? So whatever it is, that little phrase has helped Amy and I tremendously. I can help you with that. And they're going to say, really? How? And so it's been wonderful. That's one of the biggest ways that we've piqued interest, whether it's with product or finances or both, most of the time, is just by a little listening and then meeting the need.
Folks, you're starting, for those of you that don't know Doug and Amy Stroup, they have built a business with Zija that has become part of the Zija history, the Zija culture, Black Diamonds. They homeschool their children. They were part of what created Zija as we know it today, and now you're going to understand why. I want to point out, did you know Doug didn't give you a script? He said, just talk with people, ask questions. You know what's interesting is we're programmed in society, okay? How are you doing today? Fine. How are you doing? Fine, okay? Nobody is listening, all right? Nobody's listening. It's just, standard stuff, right? And so, I can see Doug going, really? You look a little tense. Everything okay? Ask again. And they're going to say, oh, no. And here's the thing. If somebody is in perfect health, they make all the money they could ever possibly desire. They've got all the time freedom to enjoy it. Their life is beautiful. Why would they want us? But point to me that one person that has perfect health, everything they want in life, and the promise for future growth is all they could ever want. We've got something for everybody. Why is Doug built and Amy built such a beautiful business? Because they're beautiful people that care enough to learn about the people they're talking to. And when there is an opportunity to present information, they offer it. Okay, that's killer stuff, Doug. Man, I'm sure glad you came on today.
Thank you.
And let's see. Yeah, Lauren and Ray, let's connect. What is your state of mind and feeling as you talk to somebody? I'm going to just do that one real quick. Okay, these were the things that were taught to me many, many years ago by one of the premier trainers in personal development, network marketing. Care more about your customers' results that they get on the product than you care about the money. Okay? Do good service, do good follow-up, do whatever is necessary to help them get results, because if you care more about them than you care about the money you're making, the money will track you down like a bloodhound. They'll be a customer for life. Doug and we both got customers, been using the products for years and years and years, and it's just ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching every single month. Recruit a new distributor. Care more about your new guy's paycheck than you care about your own. If you care more about them achieving success than what it's going to happen to you, the money will track you down like a bloodhound. You can't escape it. When your goals, aspirations, and desires move outside of you to others, that is the philosophy that creates success in our business.
That's right.
Okay, be yourself, be a professional listener. Man, I'll tell you what, Lauren and Ray got this thing down. They're like, we should.
They're on it.
Yeah, they're definitely on it. Let's see. Listen for problems wise, offer solutions. Lauren and Ray, I think I need to have you guys come on the Saturday morning training. Let's see. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate your time and effort. Doug, we only got a couple of minutes left. I think we've gotten through most of the questions. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot, and this has everything to do with, being another voice. I can tell people what I experienced in the early days and the tough go it was to get the company to where it is, and the value of putting in the time daily method of operation, 1 week at a time, 1 period of time, 90 days at a time, multiple 90-day. I mean, the reason you guys are so successful today is not about what you're doing today. It's about what you did that first year, that second year, and that third year. And by the third year, you guys are doing pretty good. But you were consistent until you had enough in your organization that you could step back a little bit and enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. And then, just like me, I know right now you guys are hitting it, because it was going to happen. But maybe you can talk a little bit, because we're really we're pre-2008, if you will. You've been involved in a lot of the leadership things. Zija 2.0 is going back to the future. The future of Zija is the past. Simplification, field-driven focus, corporate, focusing on eliminating roadblocks for us. So many initiatives that we're aware of. We're not allowed to talk about. It's corporate stuff that are going to be, rolled out progressively, culminating in the convention in Florida in October of this year. That's when the full Zija 2.0 will be rolled out. Now, most people are going, man, I can't wait till October. Okay? They don't realize what they said was stupid, but it's the right thing. You're right. You can't wait.
You can't wait.
If you want to have what's going to happen in 2019 and 2020, you can't wait till October. What are you doing, you and Amy, what are you doing today to prepare for Zija 2.0?
Very simply, just go ahead and build a new foundation of customers and distributors, right? Because once we hit that, don't wait. It's the same thing, we said earlier. Go ahead and get in. Fred, one of the things you've taught over and over, I think it's something like get in, get started, get going, something like that.
Get in, get trained, get going. There you go.
Get trained, get going. There you go, right? You can't really get going. You got to get started first, right? That's the first step. So, but then duplication, right? You're always wanting to teach others to duplicate. You mentioned earlier what we do does duplicate, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. We're always duplicating. But you want to help your new person get going, right, as quickly as you can. And again, doing that, don't wait for the 2.0. I think a lot of times, Fred, a lot of people are guilty of this. They're waiting for that next thing, and in their mind, it's like, oh, that's my answer. That's what I've been looking for. That's my ticket to building a huge successful business. It's really not. And yes, that next thing can, and I believe certainly will, help you build that huge business, but don't wait to that point, because it's always based on what we do with that information, whether it's going to benefit us or not. Right? It's that law of, accountability to the education that we receive. You become accountable for, now what am I going to do with that? Mm-hmm. Right? So don't wait until you get that next piece of information. Go ahead and start with what you got right now. Build that customer base, that distributor base, work with them right now. That way, it's not just you trying to step into the next, 2.0. It's you and your team, which is going to cause a huge amount of growth, once we're all locked into that 2.0. So that's what we're doing. You know what? Because of my challenges that I've had over the last few years from my brain injury, there's probably people on here that don't know that, but Zija has really allowed me to bounce back from that. So that's awesome. But because of that, I've not been able to be at the last couple of summit. I'm very, very excited to be going this year. It's going to be very, very exciting. I'm going to get to hug a lot of necks that I haven't seen in a while and just re-engage, whatever. Just, it's going to be very fun and exciting. Lots of great information. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and go ahead and start preparing for it right now. My goal has always been, you want to get people there from each of your two legs, both legs, right? You want to get people at the summit, at each of the events, because that's just going to allow all of you to be able to grow your business that much quicker, working as a team.
Doug, I'm just thrilled that you raised your hand. You texted me just as we were starting that you were free to come on. It's always great to see you, my friend. I can't tell you how much not just personally because of the value you've brought to my Zija business, but your friendship, your wisdom. You and Amy have been a big part of my life. And folks, if there's anything that you really want to know about Zija, yes, we've got products that'll change your life. Yes, we have an opportunity that financially can change your life. Doug and Amy will tell you that had they not built a business before the accident, they would have lost everything.
That's
But
right.
the power of residual income, because they did enough then to have the income for today. But I'm going to tell you right now, the greatest value of this business is the relationships you're going to be able to have and develop. And Doug and Amy, you guys are not going to make me cry.
Nah.
Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for joining us. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and close it down for now. Coming attractions, Wednesday night, Pat Anderson, Health Talks with Pat. Thursday night, Biz Talks with Fred. Get on Facebook, get on the team email list. Reach out to us directly. We're here to support your efforts. With that, Doug, have a great rest of your weekend, buddy. Say hi to Amy and the kids. Folks,
Will do.
hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. We'll be talking soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.